Hey you guys, welcome to another video. Thank you for clicking here. In this video, I'm going to share some things that I no longer buy and easily make from home. Reasons being because it's way more cost efficient, and these things help contribute to a healthier lifestyle in general because everything is made with very simple whole food ingredients and they taste much better made from home. So let's get into them. So starting off first is a salad dressing. Salad dressings are one of those things that people like to add to their salads when they want to start a diet, and they have so many sugars and unhealthy oils. So this is one of the things that I definitely make sure I make from home. All I do is add a half cup of balsamic vinegar, half cup of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 2 garlic cloves, half a teaspoon of sea salt, and about a half a teaspoon of dried thyme. I just blend that all in with my immersion blender. You can use a mason jar and just shake it all in, but I find that the immersion blender helps emulsify everything and get everything combined really well. And that is it. I add it to a container and save for later for my salads. Next up is popcorn. Now I love popcorn. I used to always buy the microwavable popcorn, and when I learned how bad that is for us, I said I gotta stop. Just to sum it up, microwave popcorn has cancer-causing substances lines within the packaging. So I started making it from home. Very easy, very simple, just a few ingredients. All I do is add a tablespoon of ghee or coconut oil, 1/4 cup of popcorn kernels, and let that pop and heat up and do its thing. And then once it's done popping, I add some sea salt and shake that up just to get that sea salt to spread all around, and I serve it up. So easy, so fresh tasting, and guilt-free. Moving on to some mouthwash. So I used to buy the Crest whitening mouthwash, and I noticed that the inside of my mouth would get shredded, like my cheeks. The inside of my cheek would get shredded. It's so weird, but once I stopped using that and I started making my own, I noticed how significantly different the inside of my mouth was. It's crazy. But I basically add 2 teaspoons of baking soda to 2 cups of water. I stir that up, let the baking soda dissolve, and then I add about 10 to 15 drops of peppermint oil. Sometimes I add cinnamon oil, but I didn't have any more cinnamon oil, so I added cinnamon sticks, and I actually like this alternative because I felt like it really got that cinnamon flavor, and cinnamon is very good for oral hygiene because it's antibacterial and antifungal. So yeah, very simple. Next we have granola. Granola is one of those things that is so easy to make. You can make so much at a time, and to get a really good quality granola in the stores without added sugar and all the unnecessary ingredients, they can be very, very pricey. I add about 3 cups of sprouted oats, 1/4 cup of chia seeds, half a cup of pumpkin seeds, 1/4 cup of hemp seeds, half a cup of chopped almonds, cinnamon, sea salt, half cup of coconut oil, half a cup of honey. And granola is one of those things that is very forgiving. I usually eyeball. I typically never measure, and it always comes out great every time. And then my ingredients change all the time because I don't always have the same items on hand all the time. And I mix that all in together, get that well combined, and I line my baking sheet with unbleached parchment paper, and then dump all of that granola in there. Prior to all of this, I preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And I'm just gonna pop that in there for 20 minutes. And halfway through, I'm going to mix it all in just because I don't want it to be cooked unevenly. So making sure everything gets equal amount of attention. And once I pull that out, I let it sit so that it could cool down and harden. And once it hardens, I break it all up, add it into my jar, and it is good to go. It is so easy, it's so delicious, and super simple ingredients. Now moving on to some almond milk. Now I used to make this all the time when I was paleo, so I don't make it as much anymore, but I still make it from time to time. Now I'm a raw milk girl. This is such a simple recipe. All you do is add 1 cup of raw almonds to about 5 to 6 cups of water. Blend that in. I usually don't let my almonds soak because I have a high-powered blender, so soaking is not necessary. But if your blender is not the greatest, then I would recommend soaking your almonds and then blending it. Once that's blended up, I pour all of the contents into a milk bag, and then I just begin to strain it and leave behind all of the pulp. Now this pulp right here, you could turn that into some almond flour. I've done that many times back in the day, not so much anymore. But if you want to use every single ounce of your ingredients, then definitely turn that into some almond meal or almond flour by dehydrating it in the oven. And yeah, I just pour it in my milk container and pop it into the refrigerator, and it's good to go whenever we're ready to use it. Now to one of my favorites is some homemade corn tortilla. So I use this organic masa flour that I get from Amazon, and I love it. It's so easy to make. All I do is add 2 cups of masa flour to about 1.5 to 2 cups of warm water and about 1 teaspoon of sea salt. I just kind of pour in a little as I go to get that right consistency. Mix it all in, get my hands nice and dirty, and just really work in that water, and you start to get this kind of Play-Doh-like consistency. Once I get to that point, I know my dough is ready to go. It should look something like that. Once I'm done kneading it, I wrap it in some plastic wrap, and then I let it rest for about 20 to 30 minutes. Once that rest time is up, I divide my larger dough ball into smaller dough balls. I begin to roll those up in a nice ball form, and then I let those sit for about 15 minutes. While those are resting, I'm heating up my pan. I'm prepping my Ziploc. I use this as the lining so that my tortillas do not stick to my actual press. And then I begin pressing. Tortillas are just so satisfying to make, and they taste so good. Like, fresh tortillas are amazing, and I love making these. And the moment I started was the moment I stopped buying store-bought tortillas. And it's almost impossible to find tortillas with just 3 ingredients in a store. I let those cook for about maybe up to a minute on each side and let them sit to the side until we're ready to indulge. Now to our final recipe is the vanilla extract. Super simple. I used to do this with vodka and vanilla beans, but I wanted to try something different, an alcohol-free version, so I tried the vegetable glycerin version. All you do is add about 3 parts glycerin to 1 part water. So if you're gonna make a ton, just do 3 cups of glycerin to 1 cup of water and mix that well in. After that, you're gonna add in your vanilla beans. So I cut this widthwise only and realized it after the fact. So once off camera, I decided to take out the vanilla beans and cut them lengthwise because my vanilla extract would never start to do its thing. So you basically just add that in together into some sort of jar or bottle, and you let that sit for up to 3 months. And after the 3-month mark, it should be ready to use. So that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you decide you want to make something yourself, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.